What's good, Josh? Your boy Paragon back here with another video. We are doing a good one for this next one. It's free range versus strict parents. So let's really let's just get into this. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Just go down right now, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button on the video. Feel me? So that we can just keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. Alright, y'all? So we're just gonna get right into this video. Let's go.
As the child grows and as you as a parent train that child, then more freedom should be granted to make their own decisions.
But I don't think we should train our children. I feel like you train a dog and not a kid.
I think train is a good word.
I don't want a trained child.
Okay, well I do.
Maryland parents are accused of child neglect after allowing their two kids to walk home alone from a park about a mile away.
When you hear the term free-range parent, what do you think of?
I see a wide range within free-range parenting, but parents that basically let their kids do whatever they want, and I see that as a recipe for disaster.
When I think of a strict parent, I think of someone who might be more concerned with the behavior of the child than the heart of the child.
I actually do consider myself strict, but I want to be emotionally conscious.
We've been told by this oppressive, safety-obsessed, terrified society that you can never let your kid do anything on their own, maybe till they're like 36.
It's a luxury to be a free-range parent because there is a certain privilege that goes with that.
Being a strict parent, I think, first of all, I imagine stress. Should be a really fun time of your life. Why follow all these rules when you want to enjoy your kids?
I want to see what I want to see them expound upon some of these things, like how they actually, what they mean by that, being free range, you know what I mean?
Hi, I'm Hal Chafee. I have 5 kids. I'm a minister, and we live in Maryland.
I'm Christian. I am a birth and postpartum doula as well as a newborn care specialist. I have 1 daughter who is 7.
Hi, I'm Jenny Atkins. I have 2 daughters. I'm a health coach, and I wrote a children's healthy cookbook.
My name's Wynn. I live in Los Angeles. I have 1 child. I'm a chef, restaurateur, author.
I'm Jody, and I'm the CEO of the Madden House, and I have 8 children, and I'm from LA.
Hi.
God damn, she got 8 children. What the fuck was she doing?
To everybody, I'm Lenore Skenazy. I'm the mother of 2, and I founded the book blogging movement Free Range Kids. Surprise! I founded the Free Range Kids movement. I let my 9-year-old ride the subway in New York City by himself. I wrote a column, and 2 days later I was on the Today Show, MSNBC, Fox News, and NPR defending my parenting style. And I started Free Range Kids that weekend as a blog to say, look, I believe in safety. I just don't think that we have to, have a security deal.
Yeah, I don't know about letting your 9-year-old kid, like in New York City at that, just roam around the streets, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? They 9, first of all. You just letting your kid just roam around the streets, ride the subway by themselves and all that. Like, I lived in New York for mad long, basically my whole life. There's no way you telling me that you want to let your kids go outside and just be out there riding a train at 9 years old. You feel me? Like, come on, man, by themselves. Like, come on, there's all types of cuckoo, crazy people out there. You can't be doing that.
Detail every time we let our kids out of the house.
So can I have my free-range parents on the left and my strict parents on the right?
See you later, free-range parents.
Children should be trusted to make their own decisions.
So of course children should make their own decisions. I mean, we're trying to raise them to be responsible adults. If they don't make decisions, they'll never learn.
When my child is possibly going to make a bad decision, What I want to do is not tell him it's a bad decision. I think that's the wrong thing to do, because then ultimately he's probably going to reject that anyway.
Also, it depends on what we're talking about decisions about. Like if it's bedtime and you want your kids to be in bed at 8 o'clock, I think that is up to you. But I remember a time my son called me, he was 10 at the time, and he said, "Mom, can I have another piece of banana bread?" And I thought, I felt bad, because of course that's a very simple decision. They expected that I was the one to decide almost everything about what they were eating and doing, and I felt like there was something wrong, and that actually started me reevaluating things. And can they climb the tree? Just let them climb the tree.
And what's the worst that can happen? They break an arm?
Right, yeah.
Oh well.
Well, for my kids specifically, she can go outside and play after school, and she can draw, and she can do whatever, but there is a very healthy boundary. Like, we don't have the type of health care that most people have. So, like, no, you can't climb a tree. If it's like, oh, I don't want to play violin anymore, but it's like, you're not allowed to quit things that you start, because even as an adult, you become a flaky adult.
Well, you see so many parents nowadays who just like bend to every.
Alright, she's speaking some type of truth over here. Do I hear a little hint of some simmering of some truth? I get it. Black woman.
Every whim of their child. Children should be trusted to make their own decisions when it is wise for them to make their own decisions. You know, I'm not going to let my 5-year-old decide that he's not going to brush his teeth anymore, because he doesn't. You know, as the child grows and as you as a parent train that child, then more freedom should be granted to make their own decisions.
But I don't think we should train our children. I feel like you train a dog and not a kid.
Yeah, I think his choice of words on that is completely crazy. You training your kid. Like, you teach them, you know what I mean? You teach them right from wrong, what not to do, but you don't train them. Like, what the hell? That's crazy to say about somebody, like, that you training. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Kid.
It's belittling. Like,
I think train is a good word.
I don't want a trained child.
Okay, well, I do.
I want a child
my
who has
child to be trained, to be
and
respectful.
maybe not like me.
You know, yeah, I'm not saying it's to be like me.
Do you think you need to train them to be respectful, or do you think that you guide them in a way to learn to be respectful because of the decisions they've chosen?
Both.
So what would you consider your parenting style to be?
I try to be as biblical as I can when it comes to parenting. I know a lot of people would disagree on that, but I have 5 kids, and I do my best to follow it, and I found so much wisdom, and it's worked.
Don't really follow rules. Even if it's a theory of free-range parenting per se, if you're following those free-range parenting rules, then you become strict. And I don't think that there should be rules. It should be whatever the day brings.
so if your kid wanted to go out there and just go get hit by a car, you just gonna let him go get hit by a car? You know what I'm saying? Because there's no rules, right? Free range, the kids could do whatever they want. Those are stupid. I'm
Kids
sorry.
deserve privacy.
Should I go big?
Alright, get up out of here.
Wait, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
There we go. Oh wait, we have a straggler.
Even though they're not adults,
I'll say to a certain extent.
they're still people, and they need time to either hear their thoughts or process things, or just they need a sense of comfort and solitude and things that are sacred to them.
So I don't have any teenagers yet. There's no way.
Just wait.
There's no way.
Maybe my opinion would change.
I mean, there's no way that I'm not going to have access to their cell phone. That's not going to happen. But if they want time alone, I think that's fine, and they should have that, and it's healthy to do that. The reason I hesitated is because I think back to my childhood. There were things that happened sometimes that can last with you for the rest of your life. You know, people can be abused online now. So when I have that parent spidey sense of something's not right here, and my kid's gonna be like, no, you can't have my cell phone. Yes, I can.
In our household, we live by this kind of thought. Live your life in such a way that if everyone could see what you're doing in private, that you wouldn't be ashamed. So my kids also look through my phone. Privacy is not something a child should be entitled to have. Do we give our kids quiet downtime? Yes. Am I looking for all their stuff? No. I actually agree with the definition of downtime and privacy. At my house, there's no privacy because you don't pay any bills. She also trusts me, and I wanted to
Damn, she a black woman. Damn, that's how it is. You said there's no privacy because you don't pay any bills. That's real.
make a relationship to where she trusts me, that even if she came to tell me, like, there's no yell, I don't yell and I don't scream and I don't do any things like that. We're very open, but there is no privacy.
So I just wanted to put in a plea, though, for some privacy. You know, I go around and I talk about free-range kids, and sometimes what I ask the audience is to tell me when something did go wrong. And I asked them, did you tell your parents? What do you think they said?
No.
Why do you think they said it? Fear of what?
Being in trouble,
You think it's trouble. They said they didn't want their freedom taken away.
I think it's important, though, that we hold our children accountable, because in the world, there are plenty of adults who are not held accountable, who've never been held accountable, and they do.
Right. So far, you get people running up in places. That's how you get people, white kids, running up in schools, shooting up places, because in life they were never fucking held accountable.
Just do things that are terrible.
But most of childhood is little things, and you don't have to be there for everyone, because that's when kids start realizing, I can handle it.
When you hear the term free-range parent, what do you think of?
Privilege, the ability to just do things without any repercussions or consequences. As a black person or a person of color, we sometimes just don't have the privilege to allow our children to be free range. Although I would love for her to be free spirit and just do and be, she can't, because black kids get murdered in the street.
100%. Keep it real. Keep it real. 1,000.
Parents should be parents and not friends.
Ooh.
Right.
No, this is actually hard for me. My job is not to be my kid's friend, it's to be their parent. But I don't think that is mutually exclusive of not being their friend either, if that makes any sense. But I prioritize, right, being the parental unit.
Me and my mom, I would say that she's my best friend. But like as a child, she was my mom. And I hope to have that type of relationship with my daughter. But right now, I'm the parent and you're the child, because I don't want you to lose respect for me. Like, I'm not gonna go clubbing with my daughter. Like, there's just some things that I'm just not gonna do, that I do with my friends, that I'm not gonna do with my kid.
Right.
I agree that I'm their mom first, but I'm also their friend. I'm also someone that they trust and admire, and they come to, and I listen to them and I give them my opinions, and we have forged a friendship, but it's not without my position as the authority in their life, their provider, their comfort, their mama.
In my mind, once my kids are 18, or let's just say moved out of the house, they are an adult. And at that point, I want to stop parenting. If I haven't parented enough by the time they're 18, then that was my chance. I don't want to be a parent after 18. And when it comes to clubbing, I hope that when my kid is old and grown up and they're going out for a beer at a bar, whatever they're doing, of course I want to come with them.
But here's the thing, I just want to say on the other side of that is that we never stop growing up. I mean, man, I don't have parents. I wish I did. There's some times where I wish I could just ask for help. I mean, my grandmother just passed away in May. And I remember like just feeling like, what am I gonna do? And that was not a friend moment. That was me hiding like a little child on her lap, weeping and crying and needing that.
I guess I don't want
do
that.
No, you're going to do that. If your kid comes to you, I'm sure you will.
I guess I just want this.
Right.
You know, I want them to be very independent.
Right. But you can be
strong.
very independent. She's super independent.
Yeah, for sure.
With your own mother, do you have a mother? And if you do, do you ever just need your mama sometimes? Do you ever
Not really.
You don't need to like get hugged or have
I speak to her like she's my friend.
Okay.
Now. And I think I spoke to her as my friend when I was growing up as well. Because she didn't parent. I had no rules.
And that's so.
Yeah. these people are like, that's some lily white. I don't care. That's like you're privileged. You understand what I'm saying? Like black people, we don't have the luxury of having that for our kids because we have to be so, we have to make them, we have to, allow them to be so determined that they want to go out and do stuff for themselves and want to get better at things and want to stick to things because you're always being stifled as a person of color.
So that explains a lot. When you talk about your philosophy, it's really a first-hand account where maybe some of the rest of us are like exploring how we might want to parent.
Right, but we all raise our children probably according to a little bit of how we were raised.
What we know, what we wished had been different,
Yeah.
and then there's so many societal influences.
Sure.
You mentioned before you were kind of facing everything on your own, that you didn't have parents to kind of guide you. How do you think that has shaped the way that you parent?
Growing up without the security of knowing who I was and knowing that I was dearly loved and cherished by my mother and father was soul crushing for me. As a mother, I have the opportunity to raise up a new generation of healthy, whole individuals who are able to go forth and create new families of their own and be a light in this world. And that's really what my hope is with my children.
Spanking your child is an acceptable form of punishment.
What? I don't want to get involved at all.
Yeah, this is not.
Do we have to?
We don't have to do it at all.
I don't even want to stand back here.
Well, we don't have to, you guys don't have to participate in the conversation whatsoever.
But is it going to show our position, like standing back or sitting?
We do see you guys in the background, but we just want to hear his perspective. Then people can walk forward, but if you don't want to participate in the conversation whatsoever, you don't have to.
Wow, yeah, so I'm kind of saddened that nobody else walked forward because not only do I think it's an acceptable form of punishment, but I think it's one of the best. And the reason is because it's effective, it's quick, it's over, it's done, and the kid can go off and play again and not have to sit in a corner or languish in a room or something like that. And it's not about getting angry, I'm mad, I'm gonna whack my kid. No, it's about, okay, you did something you weren't supposed to do, and you're going to get spanked for this.
So I'm going to ask any of my disagreeers who wish to step forward to talk about this, please do. If you wish not to step forward, you don't have to.
The specific anecdote I have is for my child is one time, like, as a parent, you can lose your patience, and that happens. We would just kind of like slap him on the hand when he did something like, don't do that, don't do that. And I remember one time he did something, and he started becoming more self-aware, and he started hitting himself on the hand and hitting himself. And I was like, I can't do this. We can't go down this path with him. This is not going to work for, at least specifically for him. And I think it's a case-by-case basis too. Like, you've led your kids in a way that hopefully he doesn't lash out into the real world. I don't want him to react like that to someone else either. And I just feel like that's my responsibility. So.
Yeah, and I hear that opponents to spanking will say, I don't want my child to be violent. Yeah. I have 5 kids, 10 and under, and the exact opposite is true.
Because do you think it's a bad memory for them?
What's that?
Do you think that they're going to have memories of these times being spanked and that it will be
sure, and I think they'll be thankful for it. I would do, because I
would be lying if I said I never have spanked my child. Of course but I don't feel good about it. Yeah. Don't you want to raise your child to not want to do things because they feel as if they'll be a better person, not because they're going to be punished for it?
Yeah, both. See, this is hard for me to understand because I come from a culture where everyone, like all my friends, have loving parents that spank them as kids. And now they've grown up to be great well-functional adults who respect their parents and are glad their parents spanked them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say my view. Mm-hmm. So I don't spank my child, one, because of chattel slavery and Jim Crow. Mm-hmm. I'm a Black person and I live in a world where Black people are beaten all the time. I have a mother who spanked me I'm not glad that I was spanked. I respect her, but I'm not happy about that. Also, the same thing with the people who are like, I was spanked, I came out great. They usually have like anger issues, they're violent, they whip their own kids, they probably need therapy. Usually they don't even realize how emotionally fucked up they are.
Well, you gotta understand, parenting is more than just I spank or I don't spank. If you're a terrible parent and you think that spanking is gonna fix your kid, you're wrong.
I sometimes fear I am raising my children the wrong way.
I think part of parenting is always worrying. I mean, as hard as I try to do the right thing.
That's 100%. Like, cause with my, like, you can never know if you're like going down the right path or you doing this right. You know what I mean? It's just up to, like, you know, you then there in the moment of really navigating that. Cause you, for me, it's something I've never been through or whatever. So you have to, like, it's like you have to do it. Like, people, there's a certain way to parent. No, it's really not, because you navigate the waters how you navigate. If you're a first time parent, you never been in this position before. You have to adapt and move in a certain light, and think about all of these things. So I get it.
Things, you know, there's always doubts in your mind that you've done something wrong.
I love to tell parents, especially new ones, that we're all winging it. We're making mistakes every day, but the good thing about it is that our kids still love us. They still look at us like mommy, and their
Or
eyes
friend. Right. Club buddy. Right.
So like parenting is literally just like one huge ass experiment.
That's a nice expression.
You know,
parenting is one huge ass experiment. People think that I have the answer because I wrote Free Range Kids and I run this Let Grow, and all I can say is that believing in your kids, you know, believing in them, whether you give them a timeout or you're spanking them, believing that your kids have this capacity for being a decent human being, and they're going to make mistakes, they're going to be okay. That's what kids want.
So, first of all, I think that parents are too hard on themselves, and you know what? Ultimately, your children are gonna make their own decisions. For me, I don't wonder about whether or not I'm raising my kids right, because I try to raise my kids according to what the Bible says, and so I have a guide that I fall short fulfilling all the time, but I look to it as my guide. And so just a few simple guidelines, if you follow and you love your kids, you care about them, and you spend time with them, then ultimately they're going to be okay.
I just love my kids so much, and I give them 110%. One of the neat things that I'm giving my kids that's a little bit different is a mother and father who are married and faithful to one another, which I didn't have that. And so it makes me feel really good that I'm giving them that. I know that I'll never just be totally set in my ways and be unwilling to change and to become a better mother. So I will never give up growing myself.
The one piece of parenting advice I give everyone is don't listen to all the advice, because the beautiful thing about parenting is it's not what you're teaching your child, but sometimes what you're learning with your child.
I think we all just want the same things.
100%, man. Don't listen to everybody else's advice on how you should parent your kid, because they went through something totally different from what you're going through, because there was a totally different person that they were dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, my daughter is different from the person that was born on the same exact day and year she was born. You know what I mean? She's totally different, and we are dealing with two different individuals who think totally different. So in essence, people give advice, but it's based on their own experiences. So it's kind of like you would never know if what they're saying would happen with you and your child, because it's totally different people you're dealing with. You know what I mean? But like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. It's your boy Paragon. Yeah, dig.